All right, in this video, what I want to do is show you another very common modifier that we're going to put on views called the onAppear modifier. And what that does is when we do onAppear, that gets called whenever a view comes into view into our view hierarchy and is displayed on the iPhone. And when we go into a detail view, for an example, that parent view will disappear. And so that will go away. And then when we come back and we do back, then it appears again. And onAppear allows us to have some initialization code that runs right when the view first appears. And so this will be very helpful to you. So let's look at how we can do this. So if we look at our navigation view here, the navigation view is a parent view, and that is when I come over here and click on Chicago and I see this child view, and then I come back, this view is right underneath the navigation view. It's basically the list right here. So this list is a view inside the navigation view. So when I tap into Chicago, I'm basically getting rid of this list view, and I'm actually just showing this text view as the view. And when I hit back, this view goes away and this view comes back. Those are both child views of this navigation view, and the navigation view is always there. So what I want to do is when this list becomes viewable, I want to run some code. And I think what I want to show to do this is that right now, if I come in here and let's just delete a few things. So I'm going to delete Chicago, New York, and San Francisco. So we're left with just Boston and Detroit. When I hit done and I click into Boston, when I come back, it's still just Boston and Detroit like we would expect. Because when we did those deletions, we modified this array right here, and that array hasn't changed. But what if we wanted it to reinitialize back to the original list when we came back? So the way we would do that is in the onAppear. So if we look at list here, I'm going to just elide that, and I can see where I have these modifiers, the .navigation title text, the toolbar. I'm going to put another one in here, and the order in this case doesn't matter. And I can say onAppear and hit enter, and here's where it wants my code. So this is very much like the actions and code that you would write when a button is tapped, as an example. So here, this is going to be called when the view appears. And what we're going to do is, let's say we want to reinitialize this array to those original values. So we could just copy and paste that. And by the way, you see how I have this funny indentation here? I can just do Command A, which selects the entire set of code, and do Control I. And what that will do is format the entire set of code for me. And what it does is when you have these weird alignments, it'll align all that for you, which is nice. Okay, so here we are. We have the onAppear. So what this sort of implies is that I should see this be initialized whenever I go into and then back out. I should come back to the original list. So let's try it out and see if that works. So I'm going to go here to edit, go ahead and delete the same ones again. So we'll delete Chicago, New York, and San Francisco. Click done. Here is our list. That looks normal. Now when I tap into Boston and then I go back, hey, all 5 are back again. And the reason they're all back is because the .onAppear ran and it set all those. So that's how onAppear works. Again, you want to use it to initialize a state when your view first appears. And it'll depend on the application as to what you put there, but it's very helpful.